Hello YouTube, insanj here. Today's video is my favorite 5 paid apps, which are kind of unknown. They're not really on the top 20 list, and they haven't had much popularity recently on the App Store. I hope you really like this video, and make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. I will have annotations right now, pretty much saying what time you can skip to for every app in case you're not that patient to go through the whole thing. Alright, so I'm going to jump right into this. This is an app that made a pretty high mark when it premiered on the App Store, but really hasn't had much action since then. It's called Mr. Ah. Well, it's actually Mr. capital A, A-H, capital H, exclamation point, exclamation point. I'm using the light version right now. That's only because I'm a bit cheap to buy the real one, and this one's great. So I suggest buying it, but if you don't really like it that much, then I guess you don't really have to buy it. Alright, so here we go. This is kind of fun, and it's really kind of old-fashioned. Pretty much, you're a stick figure, and you're swinging on a rope. You click when to drop down. And you have to put momentum and gravity into effect, try to land on there, and you get a adjust. This is like an old arcade game, pretty much, and you can play this endlessly, really. So, pretty great graphics, music is pretty fun, and as you see, it's not as easy as it looks. Wind, gravity, and pretty much all states of nature will cause you to get a bit more challenged. So there you go. I just restored my iPod, so my high scores are kind of, not that much, but that's pretty much it. Alright, so number 2 is Hi, How Are You? This was actually featured in the New York Times, which is how I found out about it. It's by an indie artist whose trademark is Hi, How Are You? Now, I doubt you've actually heard about it unless you've looked in the corners of the New York Times, but you really should have heard about it because it's a great app, and even though, it seems a bit excessive, it's really fun to play and pretty much takes along a actual console game that I wouldn't mind having on my Xbox. We have some great graphics, really nice 3D animation going on there, and some fun audio. So it's kind of basic. Just go into play, and you tap the latest green stage to progress. Some really weird music and very hard to understand cutscenes lead you into these kind of average levels, which, at first glance seem kind of boring, but tell you the truth, they're nothing but average. So you pretty much are this square, which I guess you used to be a frog, and you have to tilt forward to move forward, backward to move backward, left to move left, and right to move right. It's going to be a bit hard to see from this camera, but, And now you have your 2 stops on both sides. Tap them at the same time to stop completely still, and that's pretty much all you're going to need to know for these starter levels right here. Now, once you land on a square, it turns green. Now, it's going to stay green forever unless you land on one of those checkered squares, where if you run them over again, then they're going to turn right back to how they started, which is kind of this lightish green flashing. Now, you can move some cubes. Hold on. Yep, so you can move some cubes, but others kind of take you down. So you want to get all of the red and green squares, and the red squares are pretty much bonus, and the green squares are necessary to complete the stage correctly. You'll randomly get hit with influenza and some really terrible diseases, but you live with it, and it's a lot of fun, especially if you have more people. You can continue a trial, instant play, new game, or do an endless telegraph, which is a mini game which you can unlock as you play. Now I'm just going to do a quick instant play right now and demonstrate how this works. Now you can unlock those, but for now I'm just going to pick a nice easy mode to show you. Now at all loading screens, which actually occur frequently but go by fastly, you get your miles traveled, days traveled, pace, health, members, and a little tip. Now you tap here to move at different paces. It's pretty obvious: fast, normal speed, or slow. Here you can swipe up or down your little steering wheel, which I don't actually think is in a carriage, and you can see your quest info, which are pretty much if you pick up hitchhikers and whatnot, rest to gain health and and sometimes stability, map, which will show you how close you are to the Oregon or wherever you're headed. And as you see, seems kind of a short game, but trust me, it isn't. You can also touch these to kind of set waypoints. Your status will pretty much show what you see on the loading screen. Here are your miles, your money, pretty much everything you need. Now, overlay is this little mini map that kind of shows your progress here. Occasionally, you'll get hit by things. You'll need more food and go hunting, things like that. Sometimes hitchhikers, which will either steal goods from you or you'll get some money. Every once in a while, you'll hit a town and be able to do some more mini games or get more things. So here are the instructions, but you're not really going to need them because I'm showing them to you. Pretty much, you're going to want to tap a animal to shoot them and then go over and pick up its food. You're going to tap anywhere once and not on the actual, I guess, main character or hunter to move around to that place. Shooting an animal normally once will kill it, but sometimes you'll encounter bears or other ferocious animals, which, you know, kind of need a little rustling. I'm not really sure why I can't pick up that piece of meat. There we go. But occasionally that happens. Normally it's because I have a jailbroken iPod, but there you go. So it's pretty much that simple. It's real fun, it's really addictive, and if you're a long car ride, anything where you're kind of bored, this is a great game which will cost you not too much, especially if you get the light version, and be a lot of fun and definitely worth your while. So that's the Oregon Trail. Okay, number 2 is actually pretty popular, or at least it was popular, but recently it hasn't really had many shoutouts at all, and in fact it's pretty much been dug underground, and the only thing remaining is its kind of spin-off, which is Snake Paris, which is just one stage, which is kind of the main area of Paris. Snake Galaxy is this really elaborate snake game, which is really fun. You can do missions, bonus missions, I believe, settings, help, and quick play. Now, I did unlock a bunch of missions. I hope it saved them for me. Oh, no, it didn't. Alright, but here's what you do. You tap on the screen. Now, when you tap, remember you're not controlling the snake, but you're merely pointing where it should go. So no matter where the snake is pointed, it will turn in that direction. Alright, so there. I picked up a, I guess it's supposed to be a fruit, diamond, I don't know. And on the bottom you have your multiplier. The more fruits you pick up before it goes down on both sides, the higher the points will get, just as a multiplier will do in almost any other game. Now this stage is really basic. You can even see through it, so it's perfect. But in future rounds, like the denim round, which I got stuck on for quite a while, there are a lot of obstacles. Sometimes they're really simple, like a fence, but sometimes they can be gates, or pins, or even tiny buttons. So you better watch out. But every round's really enticing, entertaining, and overall a really success with the graphics and sound. Network mode is if you want to play Bluetooth, Wi-Fi on the same connection, and it's really great, but it's kind of annoying because when I've played it, it's ended up with people leaving if they lose. 2 players is pretty much you'll hold it vertically, the iPod or iPhone vertically, and 2 people will be playing at once on either side. 1 player is simple. I'll put it on hard mode just to demonstrate. You can set a bunch of new effects and different things, but for now, I just keep it here. There is the free version, which has nearly everything you want, except minus a couple Wi-Fi features. You can't have as much challenger features, and I mean, if you really love the game, I suggest getting the full version like this. Now, as you see, I just lost. I ran right into that wall, which is pretty stupid of me. But oh yeah, you can also set how many wins until the end of a round. I set 3 for now. So right down here, you can kind of see a B or a 6 or something. That's pretty much the boost button. When you press it, you go real fast. Now, even though there is a grid on the ground, you don't have to follow that. You can turn or go wherever, whenever you want, which is a really interesting feature, but it gets kind of confusing after a while. Top right, you can see that there's a little mini-map, and it's pretty simple. Now, I'm going to kind of kill myself here, as I'm not really trying. I'm just trying to speed through this so this video isn't as long as it's seeming right now. Oh, wow, everyone just wants to win. Now, hopefully, yeah, here we go. The winner is red. So there you go.